Yeah, thank you for joining. And today we are going to discuss about data wrangling and manipulation methods. In machine learning, it is one of the technique we will be learning about data wrangling and then their manipulation methods. First, if you observe what is data wrangling, okay, see the terminology in data science or machine learning is different. The concept already we have learned, okay, but we need to understand as a data terminology. Like you can say machine learning terminology is very important for us. So data wrangling is nothing but it is just a process of cleaning the data. Okay, it is just a process of cleaning the data and complex data sets for easy access and analysis. So this data wrangling will be, okay, it's one of the machine learning part here. But here what is means just cleaning the data. Okay, it we don't need like you can say standardized definitions, just understand the concepts are very clear, that's it. So here data cleaning, okay, even data cleaning or you can say data scrubbing also, okay, and then you can say data profiling, okay, and you can say data cleansing, okay, and then so there are a lot of terminology we have, but everything is same, that is data cleaning. In machine learning it is data wrangling, that's it. With the amount of data and the data source rapidly growing and expanding, it is getting more and more essential for the large amount of data. So that means day by day data is growing more, so to do the analysis, before that if you want to do the analysis, first you need to clean the data, right? So to do the for analysis purpose, this process typically includes manually converting or mapping the data one raw format into another format. So one format into, here we are not writing any logic, okay, that means so whatever the data we are just cleaning, okay, so just changing one format to another format, nothing is there in between. Okay, so that's why we are using data wrangling, which can allow for more convenient consumption and organizing the data for data analysis. So that is the data wrangling usage. The goals of data learning, you can say you can observe, okay, so I will share you the document also, no problem. So what are the main goals for data wrangling? It reveals the deeper intelligence with your data by gathering data from multiple sources. So it will gather data from multiple sources, okay, and make the intelligence deeper intelligence what is exactly inside. So that purpose we will be using, and provide accurate, okay, that means accurate and actionable data, that means which is based on the data which is collected by data wrangling, that should be actionable, that is not stable. By seeing the data, when you are getting accurate data which will be taking decision making, okay. So that means provide accurate and actionable data in the hands of business analysts in a timely manner. So when how, see the people based on the raw data, a business analyst will decide and it will help make the decisions, right? So these people, if you want to do the analysis immediately or you can accurately, then the cleaning of data is very important. So on time cleaning is very important to do the decision making, and reduce the time spent collecting and organizing unruly data before it can be utilized. So that means collecting the data, okay, and then organizing data which is not in a manner. So this data wrangling will strictly what data is required that it will pick out. So enable the data scientist and analyst to focus on the data analysis of data. They can say analysis of data rather than the wrangling. But the main focus of data scientist and then analytics is not the focus on like not the focus on data wrangling. Data wrangling will do some other people, okay, because there will be a standard mechanism. You remove, see, data cleaning is, you can say, remove null values, okay, remove duplicate values, okay. Say like I required only 20 columns, okay, and then it is should be in uppercase. So this is one standard mechanism. So that will do that will help anyone, but the data scientist as well as analyst will focus on analysis of the data. After getting the data, what exactly, okay, drive the better decision making skills by senior leaders in the organization. Once you get the data by using data wrangling, then what the senior level management people will do, they will do the better decision making skills. But if you are not cleaning properly data, then for example if you say John is there, okay, same data is there, then it is a duplication in the report level in the dashboard. What it is one extra record from the back end to front end. So this will happen. So that anyway back end and front end should match equal the data. So this type of duplication null, so these thing will be happening through avoiding through data wrangling. So we'll see a lot of things going forward. Just this is a just initial step. So in key steps we will be what mainly we will be doing in data wrangling, okay. So you can say the first what we will do is, the first we can say data acquisition, okay. So that means data acquisition. Second one is joining the data, okay. So there will be multiple files, okay, and then what data we should join, okay. There are a lot of joins also here we can see, and then we will be data cleansing, or you can say cleaning. So these three in data wrangling the major steps we are doing, okay. So that we'll see later, you don't worry about it, okay. So now, so let us understand here the after data wrangling there are a lot of techniques we have, okay. Now we are just introducing the data science terminology in like data science in it's a special part in machine learning, right? Then what are the special terms we need to understand, then we can jump into machine learning models, okay. So let's see. So in this session, like by end of this session, like you can say the concept by completion of data wrangling, okay, not in the session, but by completion of data wrangling, you are going to get data acquisition methods and data exploration methods or techniques, and data wrangling techniques and data manipulation techniques and typecasting. So these are the very important concepts where you want to do the data wrangling, and before, or you can say cleaning the data, that is only one thing, just data profiling is required here. So in this main method what we are going to do that demonstrate the data, that means import and exploration, export like that means exploration in the sense exporting using Python, how we are importing the data and we can export the data, and demonstrate the different data wrangling techniques and their significance. So what are the different wrangling techniques will be there, and how, like what are the importance for that. Performing the data manipulations using some libraries, okay. So this one coherence and merging, concatenation and join, there are a lot of things to do that, okay. So we can see one by one. First, what is the main concept in data processing is data exploration. Data exploration is the initial step in data analysis. The first step to do the analysis is data exploration. That means exporting or importing the data, where the users explore the large data set in an unstructured way to uncover initial patterns, characteristics, and point of interest. So first, before data profiling, first you need to load the data into one system to do the data profiling, right? So this process, it isn't mean that reveal every bit of information a data set holds, but rather to help create a broader picture of important trends and major points. See, this data exploration will not do any logic here. It is just help us what is the clear picture to do the data wrangling. If you want to do cleaning, so your data required. So load the data into from our legacy system into where you want to do the or you can say machine learning system. So data exploration can use the combination of manual methods and automated tools such as data visualization tools, charts, and initial reports. So this data exploration contains manual methods we can do and automated methods we can do. Manual method, you can say in Excel we will have a VLOOKUP. So whether duplicate data is there or not. Okay, so we will find that how we can find the duplication. Loading the data and doing with machine learning concept is a big problem, right? So first get the duplication data by using simple Excel, that is VLOOKUP. So when you get the matching data, just avoid the data and then get it and unique data. So this is called manual method. Then when you go for automated method, that means you can use some techniques and model by using a data visualization and charts and initial reports. So that is the data exploration. So first loading the data, loading CSV file into Python. So as we discussed in earlier classes, and then this is the first step you need to understand. So this is the CSV file, and then this is the program data from CSV file, and this is the program, whatever the program. So to write, load the data into Python. So that is the important here. So let's see how we have done. Just 1 second. So now you, like some concepts you already came across for that. So if you know, then well and good, just recollect one thing. If not, you just understand this. Okay, so first what we will do is data CSV file loading into. So like some techniques also required here. Let's see. Okay, CSV file loading into Python. So let's see what we will do. First we need to check required path, right? So how we can check the path? Import OS, then print off. So OS dot get CWD. Okay, that is a command. Then this is the path we have. And if you want to verify, if you want to change the path, just I'm explaining 1 second. Okay, so change the required path. See, you already concepts aware of, but if you want to do the correlation regression analysis, you need these specific methods. Okay, so this is how we can do import OS. Okay, and then OS change directory. Then if you want to change it, change the path as well. Okay, so whatever the path, if you want, you can try to change the path. So here I'm just taking the just simple way we can do this now, and again verify the path, right? So again verify the path. So this is I am just using here only. So 1 second. So that 1 second users, fine. So this is the path we have changed. Now load CSV file, important here, load. See, everything we are doing automated, right? So these machine learning models will do after some, like when we are discussing. So load CSV file data into Python using CSV module name. So let's see how this CSV file we know already, but just recollecting all the information. Okay, so then you will be very flexible to work on. So here import OS, then import pandas as PD, and then data frame equal to PD dot, we need to read, right? So read into Python, if you want, read CSV, then required path. So then I'm taking same path here. Then what is the file we have? CSV file, sample data.csv. So then you can see the data frame. So when you execute, so the data will be, this is processing. So then we are getting the data. So what is the meaning of this? 1 second. See here, that is loading CSV file into Python. Okay, so this is just, I have given other path, so you can go for in different approaches also. So now, so this is loading the data, CSV data into Python. Now similar method is there for us. Okay, so now loading the data to CSV file. Now below is the code for loading the data within an existing CSV file. That means now from using program and generate CSV file. So that is export CSV file. Okay, with the required possibilities. So that is doing to CSV file data loading. You can say to CSV file loading from Python. Now how we will do? Simple way, import OS and then import pandas as PD. Okay, print os dot get cwd, whatever the path. Okay, then if you want to change the directory as your wish. Okay, so here what you need to do is change directory of, use this path. Okay, wherever we are. So I'm using this path again, so let it be. So after changing the path, now we need to read CSV file. The reading CSV file from this one I'm using. So just you can do your own. Okay, one you can do with the same path also, not a problem. Now what I'm trying to do, data frame 1 equal to the data frame. I need some data from existing column, that is data frame. The column name you can say region. Okay, the region. Then what data I required is just I required west location data. Now this will be into loading. Okay, loading into CSV file, that you can say data frame 1 to CSV. Okay, they read CSV now to CSV with the name of west region data. Okay, west region data. can say region, whatever the name, west location data set dot CSV. That is fine. Now, if you want, you can display same data into Jupyter instance also with this command. Okay. When we execute, now see what data is we are getting. It's a we are getting central data. 1 second here. So location, depth, and region, and then you can say, so here to CSV west region dataset. When you say index equal to false, now let's see read sample and then data frame location, this is region, fine, then equal to west and data frame 1 to CSV west region dot CSV file, index is false, then it is why it is giving central data. Just 1 second. Are you getting any point here? Get CWD, correct path is there, and data from users sample data and then region. So here only something is happening. So data frame region, second here waste data is there, double equal to waste. So yes, once again let me take here, so it is taking only central data. Why it is location? Okay, let me do kernel restart and restart. Are you getting why it is this one? So last time we have done right. So the location, the region east, now it is giving central data. Can you got any point here? Let me take this, take out. We'll see in the file. Say download. 1 second. The path which we have. See users. Then the data will be region based data set. Yeah, east data is there. Now it is correct only. File is generated correctly. Let me take. We'll create one more file. Okay. Now you got the point, right? Can you let me anyone why it is giving central data? So it will see the default header will give first 5 rows only. Okay. So that is also not correct, right? So but why? Okay. So it will take directly from file itself. Okay. So it is header that def the data frame 1 we are using this one. So whole data is printing from this. If you give data frame, now got it. Okay, data frame 1, then you can see now it is a getting east data. So default header will give first 5 rows only. So we have given data frame not 1, so that's why it is giving this file data. This is entire file data. So from this file data we are getting now. So now let's see. So if you want, you can see waste to data also. So just you may forget a lot of things to do, right? Just if we focus, then you can get it. So this one waste to data is there. So this is the loading technique. Okay. So loading data to CSV file. Okay. So previously it was loading CSV file into Python. Now, so you can do same process. XLS file also you can do. Okay. From Python to Excel and Excel to Python you can do. So you can take one example and you can do it, not a problem. So here loading the data from Python to XLX file. So like how we have done CSV file, you can do same process also. So just change the file name dot XLSX. That's it. So now data exploration techniques also. So as you are already familiar with this, but uh, I'm just introducing once again. So the shape of attribute returns a two item tuple, number of rows and the number of columns for the data frame. For series, it returns one item tuple. So dimensionality check. So in machine learning, each and every time we need to check dimensionality. Okay, dimensionality methods. So you can see, so how we will be checking dimensionality. See here, you can say dimensionality check. So that is just for verifying the data. Okay. So you can see data frame one dot shape. So that means here you can say data frame one is in the form of here rows and columns. Okay. You can say rows, then columns. So columns are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Columns are 7. But in waste data, if you go and observe, okay, one second, somewhere the data, waste data, if you go and click on this, so only 6 rows will be there. So leave about header file, header this one, okay. Second. So we are getting only 6 rows. That is 6 rows and then 7 columns. This means these are the 7 columns we have. Okay. So this is the index number automatically. You don't need to worry about it. So that's why I mentioned index is false. I don't require in the files, in the file system. Okay. If you require, you can just ignore this one. Automatically, you will get it. So that is the dimensional check, whether the shape of like how many rows and how many columns are displayed. If you want to get it free, like see, we are dealing with lakhs of data, like millions of data going forward. So in that time, you by using this one method, you will get okay how many rows and how many. So if you want, you can do one more thing. Do with data frame only, not data frame one. So then you will get it 43 rows from the sample data and 7 columns. And from there we are picking waste data here. Okay. So that is a dimensionality check we are doing here. And then so that's why here giving like 506 rows and 14 columns. That is the shape we have. Okay. So then we are doing type of data set. You can use the type in Python to return the type of object. So type whether it is a data frame or not, whatever. So that those things we are get it here. Let's see how. So you are already familiar, but just once again recollect before jumping into correlation, regression, those things. Then if you miss this clarity, then you can't understand those things. So what you need to do is just use, then you can say type. Okay. You can say type of data frame, df. Okay. Then you can say panda score frame data. So that is the data frame. But if you want to get it each column, whether it is data type checking, okay, for each column I am talking about data type checking for this. So what it is, data frame 1, or you can say data frame 1, whatever. Then I'm just taking units. Okay, units is my column, and then I'm just checking D type, that means data type. When I execute, integer 64. Make sure one more thing here, data type, here you can see region. So this one we can say object. Okay, that is, instead of giving everything, it is just giving object. String data always give object only. So what exactly here, you can note it here if you want, like I can give you this document also. When you, when the file contains, the column contains integer data, it will print int 64. Okay, when column will have float data, then it will print float 64. So when we have string data, that means now we have seen region, right, text data, then it will show object. Okay, the name object. So instead of it is showing O only, object, like this. So this is the, so that is the interview question, how you can find the column data type. Okay, so I'm not talking about from data structures, I'm talking about the data frames from pandas. Okay, so and then, so we need to understand slicing concept. Okay, as you know, slicing, you can use slicing operator with a start index on the left and then index on right of with the output corresponding slice. So you already know that how to do that list, right? Just one example we can take it. We can say indexing and slicing. Okay, slicing and indexing, whatever. Okay, so when you say, just you take list, it's very fundamental, this one. Then you can see a list of 0 to 3. If you get, so 1 2 3 only, the start end index is always m into n minus functionality. Just have a look into that if you forget it. Okay, so that we can do the slicing, but through pandas we can do one more data, like how we will do slicing from the data frame. Now you can say data frame 1 equal to iLocation function is there. Okay, so where you can doing slicing is, so from 0, then 3. So if you get it, so I, one second, data frame not, okay, see now we will be getting the column data. So column data in the sense, so 0, if you observe, let it be one thing. So I'm just taking data frame 1, that's it. So now the data is there, order date, region, okay, repository, and then item, units, unit cost, and then total. Now see here, now what I'm trying to do, this is from data frame 1. So when you say data frame 1, 0 to 3, that means 0 1 2 3. So the slicing concept is same. If you say it is m n minus 1 is 2, so that means it is internally will have 0 to 2 only. So that means 0 is order date, region, and reporter. So now see here, only 3 will come. So we can do the through I location method. So that is, we can do slicing. So a lot of methods are there, just introducing. Okay, so that's why it is slicing a data frame using iLocation indexer. Okay, so then identifying the unique elements. We have unique on the column of interest will return a NumPy array with unique values of column. So if you want to get unique value, we have unique function is there, extracting all unique values from crim whatever. So you can say whatever the column you use it here. So that means if we want to get the unique data, okay, if you want to get the unique data, we will be using unique function here. Let's see. So now what I am trying to do, so extracting the data, whatever the required data, that means see here extracting, so extracting all the unique values of the region column. Okay, so region column, let's see. So data frame, then you can say region, then it is unique function. So when I execute, what will happen? See, central east west data is only unique data. So nothing is there in the file. In this region folder, like in the CSV sample data, only unique data, east, central east west data is only available. So that's why it's see D type is object, because it's a unique data. Okay. So now if you want, you can go item also. Okay, let it take what are the items in this file. So data frame, that is sample data, then item, then unique. So one, it is one is the interview question. So desk, pencil, binder, pen, pen set, and then these are the only unique like these were data only duplicated. So unique data will be like this. So that is the how to get unique elements from that. Okay, so you can use unique function, but what the while you're saying unique, then it will give numpy array output format. Okay, numpy array output format to get the unique values. Then you can go for extraction. So what are the values are there? So you can using value on the column of interest will return numpy array with all the values of the column. So if you want to store all the values of the column into numpy array, what you will do is you just take extracting, you can say extract, okay, values. What are the values? From item column. So simple, you can say data frame 1, okay, then you can say item, then you can say values. That's it. So these are the values we have. So those things we will be getting. But if you want, this is data frame. Now if this data frame already is there, right? So if you want to get in different way, like you can say same method, you can see data frame is occupied with some data. Now when you execute data frame just item, so it is required because we have done kernel, right? So all the operations are stopped. So what you will do is import numpy as np, okay, that data frame. So if you want, you can pd, because we did not install, right? So you did not import that numpy. That's what, if you want you can, otherwise you can neglect. So read csv. So then path. So what is exact path we need to where the file is located? So this one. So now see here. So then data frame 1, you can say One second here. So PD, okay, import again, import pandas as PD. So now you can observe, see, now the data from whole file. So this is data frame 1. So is my voice is clear, right?
Yes, Arjun, clear.
Okay. So when you see from the whole file, then you don't worry about the data frame 1, data frame. You are where you are just, it is reading from CSV and storing into data frame 1. Then we are picking the values from there. If you give A, B, C also, you can take A of, it's not like the naming standard we are using. Okay. You don't need to worry about it. See now whole values are available here. That 43 will be there. Okay. So that we can extracting the values like this. So here, and if you want to get the mean of the data frame, will return the mean of the data frame across all the columns. If you want to generate the mean for specific column, or if you want to generate the mean for different column, I can say all columns, we can do the meaning, you can say mean also. Now if you want, you can see extract whole values from region also. Okay. Or you can say, okay, so region, see whole data is there. Now if you want, you can see order date also, whole dates will be there, will be available. Now what you will see, so take the column name, fine. So now see, so these are the dates will be there, so we can do. So immediately client will ask, can you give me all the data one in a short, while you are in the call. If you are, they will ask like, make it one array and then give the data, all the data which is available, or unique data. So if you are not doing at the point, then what they will feel, so client will feel in different perspectives, right? So that we don't need to worry about it. Okay. So here you can see mean also, df, then you can see mean. Okay. So what exactly here, this data frame 1, see, we have not created data frame because before we have done kernel, right? That's why. So data frame 1, so we will be doing unit cost and units and unit cost, the median. Okay. So if you want, you can make it. Okay, there are a lot of methods we have, so you can go and see group by also. There you can give we can get the perfect clarity on this. You can go for median. Okay, one second, data frame 1. Okay, so main median, if you want to, if you want to display, see, this is a pointer value as I discussed here. When the when the data output is float value, what is the output we are getting? Float 64. See here, float 64 we are getting pointer value, because this will happen. Okay, but if you want to get it in a column wise, a specific column, you can go for different approaches, like you can say group by of region. So otherwise I will write here only. So import, so import, just it will take a few seconds, numpy. Okay, then data frame equal to pd dot, then read CSV, that is already is there, just I'm copying. Okay, data frame, fine. Now you can say by region equal to data frame, or now you can take it here, it's a data frame. Now data frame dot group by. Okay, group by of, it is in the form of region. So then after you use this one by region getting mean. Okay, now you observe. See, now this is the based on the region we are getting. It is whole data. Okay, from whole columns it will get it. So even you try for different approaches, like you can say mean, median also. Okay, see, this is just introduction, so I will explain mean, median methods in a statistical way. Okay, like you can say algebra classes, some mathematical introduction is there, so there I can explain. Just understand the output here, and you can go with the different approaches also, like you can say mean and mode also. So mode you can do in a different approach, like mean, median, mode, and the standard deviation. So everything is same only. So you can say data frame, then mode of and axis equal to 0, that is row wise. Okay, so row wise we can able to get it. So on the order date 1, 15 and 15, region central reporter Jones, item blender 7 units, this one. And then 23, 14 we are not getting, just order 28 units, so not available the data. So we can do this type of mode also. Okay, so there are some specific meaning for each and everything. Okay, so now important thing, so mean and median, and then these are the well-known concept for us. So let's see. So the mode on the data frame will return mode values of the data frame across all the columns, row with axis equal 0 and axis equal to 1 respectively. So axis equal to 1 in the sense it's a column, so we don't require. So only with the data we are getting. So you can do in different approaches also. So let us now consider multiple features and understand the effect of one over another with respect to the correlation using Seaborn library. So I will explain correlation, regression analysis, chi-square test, hypothesis test. Those things will be later, just introduction level. Just understand by using Seaborn library, we can get it correlation concept. Seaborn is a library for making attractive and informative statistical graphics in Python. This Seaborn will help you to give statistical graphics to understand, to make the attractive information. It is built on the top of Matplotlib and integrated with the PyData stack, including support for NumPy and Pandas and data structures and the statistical routines. So this is with the help of Matplotlib, and this will helpful for Matplotlib along with NumPy and Pandas. If required, you can go for PyData also. So generating the reports. Okay, so Seaborn is also important for generating the crucial reports, which is very which will be very helpful to do analysis. Okay, so there are a lot of libraries are there to discuss. Okay, but the concept here we need to understand. So Seaborn is the amazing Python visualization library built on top of Matplotlib. So before that, what you need to do is you need to pip install Seaborn. Without, before importing into Jupyter instance, what you need to do is you need to do pip installation. So there you can use that method. So let's see. So it gives the capability to create amplified data visuals. This helps to understand the data by displaying the visual context, by by identifying the hidden correlation between the variables and trends. The correlation part, this is the important. Between correlation means what the methods x and y, x and y is there, what are the correlation methods are there. So that I will give you the beautiful diagrams later classes. Seaborn comes with a large number of high level interfaces and customized themes that Matplotlib will take care of the responsibility of Seaborn library. Matplotlib function don't work with all the data frames. That is the major important of Seaborn, why it came into exist. Matplotlib always, it will not it will not work for all the data frames. So whereas Seaborn will take care of everything, so that it will work for all the data frames. So that's why Seaborn came into exist. So to draw a scatter plot, so I will explain how we will do the scatter plots and those things also through Seaborn. It's a big concept, but just introduction level, I'm just explaining to you. Okay, so let it see here. So what exactly Seaborn will do? It is the classification and correlation concept. So always it generate plotting graphs and by using Seaborn and integrating with the matplotlib. So below is the code for plotting and heat map with the Python. So whatever the graph you take, okay. So that is up to us which one is correct and which one is suitable to select. So what you need to do is you need to do first pip install Seaborn. Okay. So Seaborn library, you need to do pip install. So then you can use import Seaborn. Okay. Seaborn as SNS, whatever, that's the standard. Now you can utilize. Okay. So here you can see import and then matplotlib. So matplotlib, then always we can go over pyplot only, right? So pyplot. So if you want, you can just have a look into matplotlib classes. Okay. Plot here. Then after import Seaborn as SNS and then correlation. Okay. Correlations equal to data frame, and we have correlated function is there, CORR, that function. Okay. So SNS, that is Seaborn. Then we are using heat map, whatever the map you can take. Okay. So heat map, and now required data equal to correlation. Okay. Correlation and square equal to true. Then CMap equal to the map format in a BWR. Okay. The colors you can say. So you see plot dot y ticks. So one of the function we have. So see after getting the output. Okay. Rotation equal to 0. That angle we are checking here. Okay. And then x ticks rotation equal to 90. So when we execute, so the output will be the first, it will show what are the values. This is the correlation part. X is the 0.5 and y is the 1.5. A list of two text x tick label objects. So it will give like this. But to draw a scatter plot, just to get the correlation information between x and y. Okay. So this is the data. Okay. But if you want to do the scatter plot, okay. So to draw a scatter plot, we will be using real plot. Okay. So to do the real plot function, real plot function is there to get the scatter plot by using Seaborn. The function of the Seaborn library, we can use this one. It is figure level role for visualization methods. By the default, it is showing scatter plot. So we can do many things by using this plot, but the default will be scatter plot. So if you are not doing also, it will give scatter plot. So that is the interview question. What is the default plot will be generated? That is scatter plot. So how we will do is, let's see, Seaborn. So the Seaborn here, 1 second. So here SNS, then real plot, then you want to divide here the columns you required, units, then y equal to unit cost, then the data will be data frame, whatever the data frame we have, right? So that data frame, this data frame will come with the correlation part when we execute. Now let's see here. So it will be the scatter plot. So scatter plot will be default will be generated, so that we can see the data. If you want what data it is generated, you can see just by typing df. This data is generated in this plot only. Okay, so there are a lot of methods we have by using Seaborn. So how we will be using, let it be. Okay, so now what we need to understand here, again you need to go for cross verification. So here what it exactly it will show, this data, rectangular data set, 2D data set that can correlated into n array. Okay, so coins are, we can say, n dimensional array. So the pattern it will display, and square, if true, set the axis aspect to equal, so each cell will be square shape, that is the heat map will be generated. And then matplot color map name or object or list of colors we can see. So you can see brown, so white, and then red, we can say those things. That is the color map we can able to give. So this is the pattern it will be displaying. So let it be, 1 second. So what exactly is happening, why it is not? So you can see scatter plot default, and then if you want you can take whole copy of this code and then write it on. So how it is generated, because that based on the data format whichever I have given, that is based on our data frame, that is sample data. But in this way, in this here, this diagram will come with the data which I have taken a screenshot. Okay, so it should not like that, but the pattern is same. So now you can see, so the data, so if it is true, then it matches, it is give the square plots, and then this is the color map, and then data will be correlation. So you can say the correlation between unit cost and units almost same. Okay, see here you can get it, that information. 1 second. See here, maximum correlation with red color and minimum correlation with blue color. Okay, so but here we will be getting same because our data sample data is same. So that is the less difference between x and y in the correlation format. Okay, so that is the one method. So if I explain correlation regression in a one diagrammatic manner, then you can get it. But just for example, how to utilize Seaborn, that's what I am using here. Okay, so you can go on cross verify. So I don't need to use again and again this one. So dimensionality check, you can go on for the data shape. Okay, then type of data set you can take and identify the mean of the value. Okay, for the column, what is the meaning, what is the mean value, and then identify the correlation. Heat map function in Seaborn use plot in correlation matrix. So you can use this one also. Okay, vary this, then this will help you to design in this plot. So let me take and directly code it. Okay, then you can observe. So you just take this one and then import Seaborn and those things. Just try to once again somewhere. Okay, import. Okay, we need to give one line. Okay, fine. See now this is the plot. So we can give in this pattern also based on this color map. Okay, so this is the Seaborn just introduction. So later we will see a lot of things to work on Seaborn. So I will explain few important concepts in later classes about regression, correlation, size-coates, hypothesis introduction. Then we can jump into machine learning models. Okay, so thank you very much. We'll connect tomorrow. If you have any issues, you just ping me in my WhatsApp. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.